Hi, and welcome to Assembly Audible. I'm your host, Chris Smith, and today we're talking with the Chief Technology Officer for Additive Manufacturing at 3D Systems, David Leigh, PhD. David, appreciate you spending some time with me today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Can you think of a particular manufacturer or industry that's really taking advantage of additive manufacturing?
Today, those that can use additive in a real way are those that are typically low volumes and high value. So back in the day in computing, those people that were really special use cases, but really high value, so large banks and insurance companies would use computers until it really started to democratize. 3D printing is kind of in the same boat. So when you look at, say, Align Technologies, they are a big user of 3D printing to make all the aligners. So they make the molds that help make the aligners. And so we see a lot of that. So, and while they're large scale, they're really working with one individual patient at a time. So you only have 4 to 12, maybe 20 parts for any individual patient, but then you have to replicate that over thousands of people. And so it's a high scale, but we call it, mass customization. So that's really where we see is mass customization. Again, surgical planning is another one, very similar operations, but all the data will be different. And that's probably the biggest user of the data now, but we're starting to see it go into real production.
3D Systems recently introduced a new production-grade acrylate resin, Accura AMX Rigid Blac, for use with stereolithography technology. Tell me about the new material and what manufacturers are doing with it.
So I think the first one is the paradigm is that the stereolithography or the photopolymers are resins that are good for concept models, but not for functional models. So I think that's one thing that AMX Blac allows us to do is use something that's pretty high precision, very good surface quality, but actually functional. And so that's the first thing is we now are able to get into a functional space with this resin. Another thing that's really unique, and it's a first of its kind, is we have two different technologies that we use stereolithography resins for. One is a DLP technology, which is the chip that's used in projectors, like in movies and home video. But also DLP is now being used in our Figure 4 technology. So it's a very fast process. And then we have the traditional laser-based over a vat, which is a little slower. We actually took the formulation that we had in our DLP process and ported it over to the other stereolithography process. So and I think, again, that's a really big break in chemistry, is being able to kind of transition from one technology into the other. While they're close, they're not exactly the same. And so it was a really good chemical engineering feat.
To listen to this complete interview, check out the Assembly Audible podcast at assemblymag.com. And don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the latest in the world of assembly. Thanks for watching.